Close your eyes and just breathe for a moment. Imagine time slowing down, the world outside falling silent, as if the universe, in all its mystery, has been waiting just for you, for this moment. Maybe you've felt something deep inside you is tired, not just a physical tiredness, but a soul-weary kind of ache, like you've been searching for something without knowing exactly what. A quiet healing, an answer in the silence. What if I told you that this pause, this shift, could begin with a single thought? Beneath the discomfort you feel, there might be something no one else can see. An old wound, a sorrow you can't always name. Bruce Lipton invites us to look into that forgotten place within. He explains that many of the aches we carry aren't just emotional. They live in our cells. Yes, our cells listen. They hear what we think. They respond to our deepest states. When we believe we're not enough, when we silently hold the idea that we're broken, the body tightens, cells brace themselves, and the whole system prepares for something it doesn't understand. This tension has a quiet name, limiting belief. And it doesn't live on the surface, it hides deep in the subconscious. The subconscious is like an autopilot driving your life without you even realizing. Lipton teaches us that it controls most of what we feel, what we choose, and yes, even what we suffer. And here's the powerful truth. It can hold our body in a state of constant stress, a loop of inflammation, exhaustion, sadness, sometimes even illness. But within all of that, there's something else, a forgotten desire to feel safe again. Not safety out there in the world, but a quiet safety within. A cellular memory of trust, of ease, of being able to let go. Because the same mind that triggers pain can also awaken healing. And it begins with a thought. Picture yourself in a car, speeding down the highway, but you're not the one at the wheel. The subconscious is driving. It repeats old roads, old reactions, patterns that may have once served you, but now only lead to more fatigue. But one conscious thought can gently tap the brakes, can open a new direction. Lipton compares each cell to that vehicle, and one single command, if given with truth, can change everything. This is where science meets spirit. A genuine thought, felt and real, can reshape the brain's inner pathways. That's what we call neuroplasticity. The ancients might have called it faith, and Joe Dispenza takes it deeper. When the heart and brain come into coherence, the body creates a new electromagnetic field, a resonance, a pulse that realigns your whole system. And yes, you can feel it right away. But first, you have to recognize the autopilot, because often we feed fear and self-doubt without even knowing it. Not because we want to, but because that's what we've learned. And this keeps the body in defense mode, always preparing for a danger that isn't there, always bracing, always tired. This is where many people stumble. It's not about chanting positive phrases and expecting everything to change. The subconscious doesn't hear empty words. It responds to emotion. It responds to what's real. Repeating, "I am happy" when the heart is aching might only deepen the wound. The key isn't to silence the pain, but to create space for something new inside it, a space where healing thought can bloom. Now breathe deep. Bring to mind one thought that's been hurting you, one that keeps showing up quietly like a shadow whisper. Now imagine its opposite, not as a lie, but as an offering. See it, feel it in your body. Hold that image for 60 seconds. Let it ripple through you like light. Then be still. For 2 minutes. No asking, no fixing. Just allow the new signal to settle in. This is spiritual biology. This is healing. And this practice, awareness, emotion, silence, can be done anywhere. In moments of anxiety, in physical pain. All it takes is 5 minutes. 5 minutes to come back to yourself. 5 minutes to send your body a true pulse of love. You don't need to understand it all. You only need to feel. There's also a myth we need to let go of, that thinking positively solves everything. When forced, positive thinking can become emotional poison. Because it denies the pain, it suppresses the shadow. It demands a perfection no one can sustain. And that creates guilt, pressure, disconnection. True transformation begins when you allow, When you whisper, "Yes, I'm hurting, but I choose to think differently." That moment of truth, that choice, begins the healing. But there are quiet forces that try to hold us back. Emotional memories we haven't yet digested. They keep the body locked in defense. But epigenetics tells us one conscious thought can turn off genes that create inflammation and switch on the genes of repair. When you stop repeating a mental loop like, "I can't relax," your body listens. Cortisol drops, serotonin rises, and your biology begins to shift instantly. Now imagine a murky lake. The water is dense, reactive. You drop a single stone. Ripples form, and slowly, the mud begins to settle. That stone is your conscious thought. It doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It needs to be true. When it's true, it moves the water. It clears the soul. Carl Jung said, "Consciousness illuminates the shadow." And maybe that's what you're doing now, shining light on a forgotten place inside you with a single new thought. Not a magical thought, a real one. One that transforms because it's born from the meeting of pain and love. And here we are, at the moment where it all can change. One thought, one choice, one pause. When you choose with clarity, your brain shifts, your body listens, your soul softens. Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza call it coherence. I call it coming home. Don't wait for something huge. Sometimes it's the smallest gesture that begins the shift. A breath, an intention, a silence. Your body is like a keyboard. Every thought is a note, and when you press a new key, a new song begins, the song of your healing. Now choose one healing thought, one that meets you where you are, one that reminds you who you've always been. Hold it with feeling, then with silence, and feel your body and soul aligning in a frequency of healing. And yes, you can feel it right now.